Well, hi, and thanks for joining me here in my shop here in a beautiful sunny day. Very cold outside, just above freezing in fact. But hot sun, cold air, can't beat that. So I want to be a little bit quick in here because I got lots of outdoor stuff to do today. And my goal today is kind of do some mechanical things. The main one is clean the switches and maybe some of that, like the volume control and that. And try to solve this problem, this apparent problem with the this rotating drum being out of alignment with the rest of the radio. I think I ended the video yesterday realizing it looks like I can lift the speaker out of here. There's probably a screw under there. Lift it out, and then I get access to all these buttons down below. So that's what I'm going to start with right away. Let's take that out. Now, anytime you're going to screw driver towards a speaker, a little slip of the screwdriver hole in the speaker. You don't want that to happen, so be a little more careful here. Now you are watching to see if I'm going to poke a hole in the speaker. Oh my gosh, how long is this screw? That's a long one. Okay, let's do this one next. Both my cats are outside enjoying the sunshine, so they're not going to show up in here this morning. She's saying that's exactly how you poke a hole in it. Darn tape. That screw is loose. I didn't like that. So the second benefit, I'll be locking this speaker down tighter. You know, a loose speaker will vibrate and buzz. Of course, you don't want a speaker loose. Now it looks like the tweeter bracket is just loose at this point. Yep. So we're going to move that one off first. A little capacitor there. For a little crossover business. Now, you going to come out? Oh, thank God. At first I thought it's not going to come out. Comes out. Okay, these two guys travel together. Let's go over here. Down you go. What can we see in there now? Lots and lots of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I can get out of all these switches up here. But now I got to figure out where exactly to spray the spray that it will go inside the switch and lubricate all the contacts. And that's easier said than done. And from this distance, there's no way I'm going to spot a hole. So I'm going to get in there with the close-up camera. We'll see what we can see with that. Things always look a lot different when you get up close to them. So I'm looking where the terminals come through the plastic to see if there's a gap. Doesn't seem to be a gap there at all. Looks like a little hole way up at the front of it there. It's not even where the contacts are sliding at the back. Now, is that a hole? You see a little be holes in the side. I don't see anything too good here. Let me get a little more light into this situation because it's a little too dark. Okay, now what can we see? Just working my camera right into the radio here. It looks like there might be a hole up at the front of it, right where there's a little, I don't know what it is, piece of metal. Let me work the switch and see if we see anything move here. Which switch am I on? Oh, look at that. Well, it looks like I can easily get in past that moving piece. If I blast the spray, and you know the spray is under pressure, it comes out the end of the nozzle. If you can shove the end of the little red, I'm talking about WD-40 here, if you can shove the red pipe right up tight on that hole, you can actually pass the pressure inside a little bit and get the spray to happen inside. Gotta make use of gravity. Don't know what it really looks like inside that switch. I mean, I can imagine it, but that's... So here's the next one. Let me wiggle the next one too and see if it does exactly the same thing. Yeah. Maybe there's one switch that's more out in the clear here. These first two are really short, and the next one's really long. And so it looks like each one of those terminals that have come through, so many of them not being used, it looks like the plastic is deformed just on the inside of them, as if the plastic was then melted up against them to seal them up. I would think, you know, when you make a switch like this, you want to try to get it as sealed as possible. And there it looks like, no, I was going to say it looked like more holes, but no. There's other things in view of the camera here I'm paying no attention to. Maybe something else has gone by that I need to look at. What about the very end of the switch there? It's really hard to get at. It's got these IF cans tucked right up tight to it. I can't quite see the end of the switch body. Oh, here's one. Here's one I can see the end of it quite easily. Okay, let's push this switch. I think it's this one here. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's a great thing. So that means there's a gigantic hole in the end of these things. Let me pop this in. Oh, that's a huge hole. Is that the same on this one? One I can't see here. Right there. Okay, and work the switch. Yep. Oh, there's a huge slot. There's a huge slot opening there. Excellent, excellent, excellent. That's going to be the... is that the same thing? No, this one doesn't have a huge slot. What's the next one? Next one. No slot. Why? It looks like... I don't think that's really a gap right beside the terminals. Where is it? You can spray right down next to the terminals. That's good too. Let's try this switch. Is that the right switch? Yeah. No, the business end is down here for sure. What I would do is I'd tip this thing up in such a way that gravity will pull the oil down into the switch. That's about this one. Same thing here. And I think there's one more switch. Oh no. One more. What's it? Where? It's up under here? Oh. The last switch is just gone under this thing. Behind here. I just whacked my head on the microphone in case you're wondering what that was. The last switch appears to be inaccessible. It's involved in... What is this? Oh my gosh! Wow! Oh! Don't open that. Look at this on the other camera. Get a better look at it. Let's look behind door number 1. Okay, there's a few things there to adjust. Oh my gosh. So tuning capacitor here. It's got 3 sections. Another tuning capacitor down below. It's got 2 sections. Then there's probably a sealed up FM tuner in here somewhere. Unless this is... Wow. Okay. Here's an IF can. How would you ever adjust that? Oh, they have a hole. They have a hole through here to get at it. There's another one down low has another hole. Way down there. Some kind of can. It's not necessarily an IF can. You know, just looking at it and taking a wild guess. This is the end of the FM tuner down here. It's got an adjustment right there. Oh, it's got a number on it. R899. R something else there. Are these guys labeled in any way? No. Look at the layout of them though. Oh, don't touch that stuff. Don't touch that. Wow. Okay, lots of excitement there. For sure. Close that guy up. Pretend you didn't see that. Oh, but wait, I gotta look through it and see if I can see the switch down at the bottom. And you know what? I can actually see it down there. Oh, what's going on? There's more switches in here. What's happening here? I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna get the close-up camera to look at this. We're gonna be looking right down there. Right down there. And way down there. Got a little bit of light in it. You should be able to see. I'm gonna have to change the focus here. Oh, careful. I suspect there's a lot of light wires right in this area that I can break easily. Okay, hold still, will you? Just hold still there. You're worse than a cat. Okay, there. I want to focus down low. Oh, it's going to take me a second here. I have to bring up the focus box. Just bear with me a moment. I'm calling up the properties box of that camera, and now I can adjust the focus here. There. So there you see the target guy down there. Or do you? I say, just to snap back quickly at the camera. Look where the camera is aimed. The camera is aimed at the back of the radio. The push button in question is way up at the front here. Well, what, was there a push button thing going all the way to the back? It looks like there's 2 of them in series. And this is the back one. Now I'm going to push the buttons at the front here and see if anything happens there. What is that button? What is that? You can see the spring on it. Where, how does that guy get activated? Okay, let's going to move towards the front of the camera here. And there's the other one. And you can see the spring on it. Let me try the button here. Hey, that's not moving either. Okay, let's just keep going forward here to another one. Do you see another one way down there? It's actually kind of straight below here. Wow. Oh, what's that screw down there? I don't know. Looks like is that an adjustment screw of some sort? I hope not. Goodness knows I wouldn't fool with this one without a service manual for it. Oh my gosh. Well, the thing is, maybe that switch isn't even dirty. And what is that switch anyway? That switch is, I have to get the top panel. What did I do with the top panel? Okay, hang on a second. Straight over here. Okay, so I've got the top panel here. And, oops, I'm showing it to a light bulb. I'm not showing it to a camera. Here, now I'm showing it to a camera. L? Is L the guy? Yeah. So L would be long wave almost certainly, and long wave is, you know, who cares about that? So AM. I think that means multiband. MB? I think it means multiband. Maybe not. MB. FM. I didn't spot it. Medium band. Medium band? Medium. You got me as to what that is. Shortwave band, so that turns on the tumbler down here. MB's here. So it's just the shortwave band immediately above the AM band. It's calling MB. There's specks of paint on here. You know, all good radios have specks of paint on it. Can you see just above the 400? There's a speck right there. You need specks of paint. Every radio that's lived a good, healthy life has specks of paint on it. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to forget about the L, not worry about it, the L switch, and we'll just get busy at trying to spray in some spray here. I want gravity to be helping. And the first two switches, I don't think I noticed anything sticking out the back of them. Let me just look again with my own eyes here. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. So these are all completely open at the back. So I need to tip this up so it's standing on its head. Now I got the speaker flopping around. I wonder if I should disconnect it. Get it out of the way. I could desolder it here. You know what? I think that's a good idea. We'll get the speaker out of the way. I can always resolder it later. Is there some kind of issue here? What I'll do is, the wires are, they are differently, where's my cutters? The plastic wire covering is different on each wire. Why would they bother indicating one from the other? So I'm going to nip them and leave a little bit of the wire on the speaker, and then I'll be able to hook the same wire back up to the same terminal without having to remember anything. And that's the key these days. Don't remember anything. Okay, I'm going to put this nicely away here. I can't get in the way. Now we have no speakers to listen to, but that's okay. We can do something about that on a temporary basis. Now I can work with this radio much easier. Without worrying, I'll put this away. I don't want to scratch this up. Put this away. Put it out of here. Okay. So we want to stand him on his head. Perfect. Light shining in there. Now I'm going to want to work every button as I spray it. So I'm going to have to stick my hand up there. How am I going to do that? Do it like this. Okay, first button. Okay. Oh, I don't have the spray in my hand. Ah. Okay, need the spray. I usually have to give a quick speech about using WD-40. I use WD-40. That's my quick speech. Now, just make sure I got everything right. Okay, in we go. Oh my gosh, it's a long ways in there. Okay, first one. Ooh-ha! That's a major. I did a major there. Should have been ready with the excess here. I wasn't. Okay, next one. for sure, that amount of WD-40 is going to make a difference. That's for sure. It's going to come out the front of the radio. Okay, ready on the... Ready? Set. Oh! Moved. Stupid can. Usually when you do this, you can feel the operation of the switch change a bit in one way or another. Okay, we're on to the next one. Okay, so the next one, oh my gosh, the next one's way up here. Just, yeah, this is the one that's underneath the can, but I can get at it. Get the right button here. Okay, I'm ready. Hang on to the radio. Right in there. Okay. Okay. Another thing you can do here with these buttons, when you push one button, it releases the other. You can hold one button down, and that opens the release bar, if you like, and then all the buttons will go up and down without ever latching. Give you a faster, like this. So I'm holding one button down, and the other one I'm working. Okay, one more, two more, three more, over we go. Okay, hold on to the radio. I just noticed a great big capacitor right there. So I think it may be the case that I tried this radio on a power cord and it hummed because the radio's power supply is bad. This would be like just after I got it, and then I decided rather than fix the power supply, I would simply put a power supply onto the battery terminals, which is what I've done, which is what you can see it in the background there, in the power thing. That was my cheapo way out of this. Okay, next one. It's getting harder and harder to hold the radio here. I move down. There, that's good. Right in there. Now we're lucky we live in a place where there's gravity. It'd be pretty sad if there wasn't any here. Okay, let's get a grip on it again. Right there. Okay, and now that last one, the L one, we're going to forget about, right? Just going to forget about it. Because I really can't see it. Now what about that thing at the back? Oh, there it is there. What's this? Oh, it's there's a hole. So there's a hole right here. goes down into here. And you could push something down there and you would plunge this switch. Why in heaven's name would you... You know what this might be? That switch might be? You put this down on some kind of special holder where these are going to plug into something. I don't know what. Plug into something. At the same time, that plug must jam something down this hole and throw that switch. Man alive, that's my guess on that. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time looking for a schematic. Now the next thing we wanted to do actually was fool around with this is a little tricky. Fool around with the gearing for this drum, which is part of it's in here. Let me flip it around here. It's a good thing I took the speaker right off. Probably would have blown holes in. There's some more large capacitors here. But again, the radio's working with a DC supply. So large filter capacitors that might not be working so well, not a big deal. I think this is a light bulb. I think that's what this is here. Yeah, gearing. I can even get a good look at it here. Maybe flip it around this way. Just hold it. Okay, so so there's the tuning. Let's see what's moving when I do that. And the band change is this piece, which is driving this gear, which is driving this gear, which is then driving an even smaller gear, which is driving the tumbler, or the I'll call it the tumbler. Oh my gosh, what are you looking at up here? So where would a gearing error happen? There's all kinds of possibilities here. These gears could skip. Doesn't look like it's much possibility of that. The tumbler could be rotating on its shaft because the locking screw, there's a locking screw here, is loose. And in fact, if I try to turn this by hand, I'll discover it does. Let's try that. Let's try that right away. Because as for this thing jumping gears, how could that happen? And you know what else? I can take off the power supply here. Yeah, it's obvious positive to negative. Just put that there. Yeah, so can the drum rotate without rotating the control? Let's see. Feels pretty tight actually. Oh! How do you like that? That's what it is. It's the drum rotating on the shaft. So all I got to do now is figure out the right place for it and lock it there. Probably by just tightening that screw. Can we feel that screw? Let's just rotate it back. Is that screw loose? Yeah. You know what? It wasn't very tight. There's probably one on the other side. Nope. Now, what about up the other side there? I need to turn this. I need the knob. Which knob is it that turns it? It can't be that. Oh, it must be this one. Get outside. Today I am going to take the snow tires off my truck. Yeah, it's a little late in the year to be doing that. Okay, here we go. So I want to rotate it around and see if there's another screw here. Oh, there is one there. Okay, so there's two of them. doing the 90-degree thing onto the shaft. Let's try this one loose. Well, it was tighter, but it didn't take much to loosen it off. So I think that's all that's happened. Now, what would cause that to rotate on the shaft? Because you can't get access to this roller with your fingers when the radio is put together. It's behind plastic. That's an interesting question. What went wrong with this thing? What if we turn it all the way one way? You know, this could be really easy. There is no all the way one way. It's just around and around forever. Look at all the switches in there. Wow. I'm not so sure I want to WD-40 that up. But I know there are some switch problems. This whole piece is popping up and down here. Well, there is one setting on the radio right there where it just says that. So there's one setting that's nothing. That's probably the easiest one to figure out. How would you recognize when this thing is set for nothing? You'd have to examine all these switches and see when. Yeah, that's not happening. How would you know? The only way to know is to run the radio, switch the bands until it's obvious you're on the dead band. Now look at this interesting thing right here. So this looks like a transistor. Appears to be. I was going to say this transistor is monitoring the temperature of this thing, and if this gets too hot, and what is this anyway? Well, what is this thing? It must be a transformer. Odd looking transformer. But on the other hand, I think what it is they're using this as a heat sink for that. And there's a big heat sink right in here. Much bigger one right here. I wonder if that's the output transistor for the speaker. Wonder. You know what? I think really finding the manual will be the next step here, and because I may learn things in the manual I don't expect to learn, and I may find out things I should know before I go any further, especially with the alignment of the tumbler. Maybe there's a method for it. So I'm going to stop here, and we'll see what I can find on the internet. Okay, well, I did manage to take a peek at the schematic and some other schematic-y type information for the radio. It exists. It's available on Radio Museum. I didn't bother downloading it just yet because there's no write-up. So I'm looking for written information about this radio. I'm not too interested in the schematic just yet. So we're going to hook the speaker. A speaker. It doesn't have to be the speaker. Let's put a speaker on here. Okay, clip leads. Take my shop apart to get two clip leads here. I don't know why there might be some polarization issue with this. Oh, how can there be? I'm just going to the speaker. Can't even. Okay, and then we need some power on it. Okay, and we need the antenna there. A little bit of music for this morning. Now, I want to be able to see this clearly. Why can't we stand it right up? No reason at all. We can't stand it right up. So the first thing I want to do is change the bands and see if there isn't one that's just silent, and that would represent this. So do I need more knobs here? Can I handle this? Tuning. This must be the on-off one here. There we are. Volume. Good. Okay, put some power onto it. This radio should be on. Good. Always good when they work. Now, we need to be switched to the band setting. What should I do with that? We need to push the shortwave band button. This one. You essentially have no antenna on this, so it wouldn't be surprising if it's quiet on all bands, but it's making some noise now. Let's go around. Looking for one that's silent. Let's take a guess that this is where it should be. Okay. Just going to lock the screw a little bit if I can get at it. Yep. Come on. There. Okay, just lock it a little bit tighter. Now we're going to verify. So to verify, I'm going to need a known signal. I think we're going to do it with this guy here. Just turning on my signal generator back there. I'll bring out a lead. On the antenna. Oh boy, the antenna. Right. Well, the antenna's right here. Right where? Down here. Down here. So we're just going to put the one lead on. I won't bother with the... Ooh. So, you know what we can hear? Can you read the frequency there? 455. So we're hearing the IF in the radio slightly. So we want to turn this to a sensible band. 21 megahertz. 21.3 or something like that. So we got this band right. Turned out to be a very simple matter. Now we're going to go check another one. Hey, why don't we check all these quickly? They all sound like they're working. So here we'd be at 17, but let's go back. Let's go back. Go back. And do this a little more accurately. So put that at 21.6 on the dial. Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, next band down. We're at, let's put it at 18. 18. Okay, so that's 900 above 18. That's probably the image. there's the real signal. I guess I'm hitting it with a little bit of heavy duty signal. I'll turn it back. The yellow one's disappeared. Good. So, wow, that's good. This is great. Let's go another one. 15.2. 15,200. Maybe we can pick stuff up on this band. 15,200. Very close again. Now let's go 15,200. And we'll tune it on here. 15,200. Well, that's where it thinks it is. Let's find out where it really comes up. So you see, it's slightly off the 15.2, not by much. That's great. Wow. Let's go down another one. I had been using this radio on and off, and I was really happy with the way it worked. So now we're proving it. So now we want to check, let's try 14.1. That's really good. You know, it says something about the stability of this radio. 12. We're not really hooked up to a proper antenna here at all. Stunned if I pick something up. Picking up something. Let's put it on 11.8. There we are, and we'll see. 11.8. Beautiful. Now that's a for a shortwave radio, that's quite a strong signal hitting the antenna. That's still quite a strong signal. But that's good. Next one down. 9. It's a very important band. Hey, I was listening to shortwave last night in the evening, later in the evening. Came to life on this band, 11 megahertz, or I'm sorry, 9 megahertz and 11, in particular 11. Came out of the blue last night. 9. You can see we're right on 9.6. These all seem to be just a little bit high, like about 50 kilohertz high. Or maybe low is the right way to put it. Next band. 7.2. Almost dead on. You know, for a radio like this. It's a pretty good band spread, come to think of it, now that I'm looking at it. 7.1, 7.1, 7.12, 7.14, 16, 18, 2. Now, that's a pretty good band spread there. Next. I think this is a well-liked radio, so we're right on top of 6.1. Very good. Let's keep going down though. Now we're right on top of what must be 5. 5. Right on the money. We're very close. Next band down. Notice there hasn't been any band switching nonsense in this radio. Every band is switched beautifully on. There's no dirt in the band switches. That's what I want to say. 4.7. It's just overwhelming it here with. Or there's something else in there. Beautiful. I've knocked the signal down now. This would be a signal any good shortwave radio could receive that. Okay, now let's go to, this is 3.75. 3.75. Again, it's really very, very good. Really very good. You know, it's almost as if the pointer is slightly off. If I just move the pointer over, that would solve everything. Is that the problem here? Goes right off scale to the end there. And it does the same thing here. So that pointer is where it needs to be. Turning every, and there it is, the band's, it's gone quiet. Okay, no question, band switch worked, shortwave band's operating. A local oscillator could use a little bit of an adjustment on each band if I cared to try to make this guy more accurate, and it might be worth doing on this radio. But for now, I think I'm pretty happy with where I got to today. There's too much sunshine out there to keep going in here any further, but things are coming along great. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, and I'm off to do yard work, change my tires on my truck, and enjoy the sunshine with my cats that are both out there in the sun. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll try to get in here again tomorrow morning, maybe finish this guy off.